Hey guys, Joe Simons here. Before we get into this episode, I need your help with one thing, and that is to go pick your 11 lures for 1 penny. Yes, we are doing an 11 lures, so that means you get to go pick any of our lures, 11 total, for just 1 penny over at 11lures.com. We are doing this because what we found is that every time we give lures out as samples, people keep coming back and buying more of them over and over and over again. So this is our way of putting our best foot forward to get some amazing lures that we know work for redfish and speckled trout and snook and flounder in your hands so that you will come back and buy more. It is first come, first serve over at 11lures.com. That's 11lures.com. So the number 11lures.com. See you over there and enjoy the episode.
In my soul. Welcome to the Salt Strong Podcast, disrupting fishing entertainment as you know it. Prepare to laugh. Prepare to get to know fishing legends in a whole new and unfiltered way. And on occasion, you might even learn a thing or two about fishing. Here's your host, Joe Simons. Like diamonds.
Hello, Salt Strong Nation. Joe Simons like diamonds. I got Luke Simons like diamonds, and we've got lures. Lots of them. I got 9 in my hand. Luke's got the 9 different ones in his hand. These are the 9 that we're starting with for 11 different lures. You get to mix and match any of these 11 lures for just 1 penny. And so we're doing this podcast for a couple of reasons, really just kind of more of an FAQ. We just put this out. It is limited time only. And a lot of people are asking, why the heck are you doing this? What's the catch, right? And there is no catch. We will explain why we're doing this and why we are losing money to gain your trust and to hopefully get you as a long-term customer and continue to buy more of these. And 2, people have asked, hey, which one should I get, right? You know, I'm in this area, or I'm in Florida, or I'm in Texas or North Carolina. Which lures should I pick? And even some rigging stuff. Of course, that's what you get is a freebie. It's a pretty cool little kind of a mini course Luke put together on how to rig each and every one of these different lures. And more importantly, when to use different types of jig heads, weights, etc., all based on depth. So Luke, I know you just put that together, already getting some good feedback on that. And let's talk about why we're doing this first and foremost. This is not something new, giving away something for free or for a penny, essentially for free, to get a customer and hopefully get them to come back. Kind of my story of seeing this work incredibly well. It's a small little company called Chick-fil-A. And back when I was at college at Georgia Tech in downtown Atlanta, that is where Chick-fil-A was founded, right outside of Atlanta. They were starting a big expansion. At the time, Chick-fil-A wasn't in Florida. It was a Georgia, company. Not many people knew about it outside of the state of Georgia. And what Chick-fil-A did is it was almost like a little business card. It was just a cheap little piece of paper, and it said free chicken sandwich. You could literally go into any Chick-fil-A there in the Atlanta area and get a free chicken sandwich. No strings attached, nothing else. Because here's what they knew. 1, they had a great product, just like we do. That's the reason we're doing this, because otherwise we'd just be losing money. We know people come back to buy more. So you have to have a great product that you believe in, and without a doubt, people are going to come back to buy more. And number 2, you also have to have some add-ons, some additional products. And what do you think? What do you think I did, Luke, when I went to Chick-fil-A with my free little token?
I have to imagine you got some of their amazing French fries.
Got the French fries. Got lemonade. Back then, they were big into their little apple pie. If you guys remember that, some of you people who've been going to Chick-fil-A for over 20 years, like me. I mean, that was it. Like, man, we loaded up. We're like, man, they already gave us a free sandwich. You felt like you're kind of winning, right? You won the lottery. And what was crazy is, I did that well over 50 times. Bad news is we don't let you do it that many times, just once per household. Because we at least online can track it a little bit better. They just gave those things out till they're blue in the face, knowing that, people might take advantage of it over and over again, but it got them loyal on the brand. And here I am, a couple decades later, just took my whole family to Chick-fil-A while we were on the road back from Georgia to Florida over the holidays. So that's one of many stories of where a company or a brand will put something out there is kind of a sample, if you will, or a freebie or a freemium or whatever you want to call it, to get you in to try the product in hopes because they know they have a great product, that you'll come back and buy more. For us, it's just being very candid. It's that you're going to come back and buy more of these different lures. You'll find probably a couple that you really, really love and say, I can't leave without these. I want to buy more at our fishstrong.com store. And ultimately join us through the Insider Club. We've had so many members because we did this with Slam Shady. If you guys recall, we gave away a free pack of Slam Shady. Crazy. I mean, we gave out, I don't know, Luke, 100,000 packs over the couple of years.
We went through a lot of them. Yeah. And now that's our best seller because we know they work and now a lot of people are buying more. And so now we have these extra lures and might as well do it bigger. Go even bigger. 11 of the different lures. Yeah,
and it's so funny. I mean, some of the haters on social media, oh yeah, Slam Shady, it's just because they market it well. Of course we market it well. Just like Chick-fil-A, if it's the number one chicken sandwich, oh, so they market it well. Of course they market it well. That's part of what you do. When you got a great product, you market the heck out of it. And so, yes, we market these things very, very well. And obviously, you can market something as best you can. If it's not a good product, if it doesn't catch fish, it's not going to catch on. But people do keep coming back. This is the repeat buyers. We're not giving away these free packs of Slam Shady like we were in the past. But people kept coming back and coming back and coming back. And they're like, well, man, I'm already spending all this money. I might as well join the club and get 20 or 30% off of everything, including like our Moonwalker lures. The new ones just came in, by the way, with the correct rattles. Hopefully you can hear that in there. And the power prawns, got a whole new version of power prawns, obviously rods, reels, etc. We have some members who have saved thousands, literally have saved thousands on their spend in the tackle store. So that is really the ultimate goal with it, just so you wondering why. And with the shipping, you do have to pay the shipping cost, whatever is $3. And that is the legit shipping. In many cases, we lose a few pennies, but on average, that is the exact cost to actually ship a bag of 11 lures. And you do get to mix and match. I think we have 9 different versions right now. Assuming when you watch this, we haven't sold out of any, but we have 9 different versions or variations that we're going to go through here in just a second that you get to mix and match. You can get 11 of the Salt Strong Jerk Shads if you want to, or you can do 2 of a couple and 3 of one and 1 and 1, and you can do it however the heck you want to. It's like a little buffet line of lures. But there is a cost to ship, and we're not making money there. We literally lose money. We're charging a penny just so there is a cost of something. It makes it easier for our Shopify account. They don't like it when stuff is free. So at least we're charging something, 1 penny. It's the lowest denomination that we could possibly charge. And then the shipping, and then boo, bam, sham, it comes out to you first class with tracking. So you do get a tracking number. And then they're yours. And all we ask in return is give us some feedback. Let us know which ones you like best, and hopefully come back and buy more. Just like I did with Chick-fil-A. I said, man, these guys are great. Like the product, pretty doggone good chicken sandwich. I like the fries and everything else. I'm going to come back and buy more. So
very true. And so let's go over the lures. And so here's where it started, just so you have a history. So it started with these 3 lures. These were our original soft plastic lures. First one is the Slam Shady 2.0. This thing has been awesome. This has been our number one seller because, as Joe mentioned, we gave a lot of these away at the very beginning. We now sell them in a 100 pack. The 100 pack is our best seller of all of our lures because, again, people use them. They work. I sight fished and I snook this morning. I can attest to they certainly work, and we have all sorts of footage, even big trout sucking this down with a camera right in front of it to actually see how fish strike. Number 2 is the jerk shad. This is the Alabama leprechaun color on a 5-inch jerk shad. Great lures, particularly for the calm, clear conditions. This rigs great on weighted hooks as well as jig heads. Same with all of our other lures. And this is a deadly lure for sight fish in particular, and surprisingly good for triple tail. This has been my number one big triple tail catcher right here when they're under the buoys. You can rig it weedless and get right in their face, and they cannot help but to eat it. And then number 3 is the bigger paddle tail. This is almost 5 inches, like 4 and a little bit. If you straighten the tail out, it gets to 5. It's called the Bomber. This is
Slam Shady Bomber.
This is the Slam Shady color. This thing absolutely launches. You can see the mass difference between the 3.5 incher 2.0 to the big old Bomber. This thing is awesome for just covering ground for power fishing, particularly summer and fall. I have been using it a little bit in the winter with success, but more of a summertime, fall. And obviously when you get these lures, we go through when you should use them, when you shouldn't use them, and how to rig and everything. And so the other ones are the same molds, just different colors. So we'll just kind of pull out some different colors here for you. So we have the Fred. Fred is this light pink. It's basically like a Slam Shady, but a little bit with a pink in there.
Fooling redfish every day is what Fred stands for.
Yeah. So we have the jerk shad, so the 5-inch jerk shad, and then the smaller 3.5-inch paddle tail. Next is the Flamingo Joe. This is a funny story. Look at that, man.
That's bright.
Pops. And there was actually an accidental color that came in, and we're like, man, this thing actually looks really good. And we brought it out on one trip, and Joe's very first cast caught a nice mackerel, and it's continued to catch a lot of fish.
Yep.
Next one is the Slam Shady jerk shad. So this is that jerk shad in the Slam Shady color.
And that's a new one. That's one that we've never even had for sale. So that is a brand new one. Even for you insiders have not seen that yet.
Yeah. So if you do get this, the very first possible way to get it is through this 11-1 offer. So really cool. This thing has great shine. And just like the Leprechaun, great action in the water, whether you're rigging it on weighted hooks for the shallows or if you're putting it on jig heads for the deeper water. And now we'll go down to the dark ones. So this is for the darker water. We have a lot of members in the Carolinas fishing a lot of the real dark water. And for night fishermen, this is excellent. This is the smaller paddle tail. It's called Gold Digger. So it's black base with some gold flash in there.
This is not some gold flash. It's loaded with gold.
Yeah. Yeah, and so this actually has been working. I've been sight fishing with this in the winter as well, and this is really good for clear water too, which was a surprise. I thought it'd be more of a nighttime and dirty water, but this thing has proven to work in a variety of different patterns, and it was working so well. We started with a small one, and we said, hey, might as well get the bigger one too. So now we have both paddle tails and the Gold Digger, and then again, I know Justin Ritchie, one of our coaches, this is his favorite for sight fishing reds. He actually takes the tail off and uses the little nub, so the Gold Digger nub on a weighted hook, and he's been sight fishing some really nice redfish over there on the east coast of Florida and the Gulf Coast as well.
Yep. And so those black ones, like that Gold Digger, I've got one here as well. It is black. It's basically a black lure, literally just flat out loaded with gold flakes. This is great. As Luke mentioned, nighttime, darker water, people, up in or over Mississippi, some of those areas up in the rivers and up in the Carolinas, Virginia, up in some of those little creeks, everyone seems to love these. And then, as Luke mentioned, Clearwater, we did a little bit of the pool videography where we take these lures out and look at them through lenses in different angles, sunlight, no sunlight. And what was interesting is, and there's been books that document this, about clear water on a sunny day. It's tough to beat this, especially if you're a little bit higher in the water column and the fish are lower. And you could do it yourself. Go look in a pool. When you go look up, you're not going to see something that's white or pearl. That's where, Slam Shady is at a disadvantage. If it's the flat out middle of the day in Florida in crystal clear water, and you got this a foot below the water line, a fish is looking up on it, you can almost lose it. But there's so much contrast here with this dark color. You can't miss it. I mean, it stands out big time. And so I would definitely use it in those scenarios.
Yeah, this absolutely has the best silhouette, as Joe mentioned. So middle of the day, great, and then at night. But then, I still, even though we have those other colors, I still find myself just going back to the trusty Slam Shadies, because literally I've been using these 3 lures right here exclusively for the past really year and a half, 2 years, and it's been some of the best fishing I've ever had. So I just trust them so much. They really became my ultimate trust lures. Where if it's calm and clear, Leprechaun. If it's windy and the bait fish are small, I do this, the Slam Shady 2.0. And then if it's like fall where there's just bigger bait fish around, or if I just really need to cover water fast, the Bomber. And again, all of these lures, which is most important, is that all of these lures rig extremely well on both weighted hooks and jig heads. That is so important. There's so many soft plastics that have the really hard, like the flat face. And they work great with jig heads, but if you need to get up in the shallower water, where a lot of our bigger redfish and snook and even trout feed, you can't rig them on a weighted hook, because it's just that flat face just does not have good action in the water. It'll start doing some weird motions, whereas this type will just have a nice swim through the shallows, and that's what I was sight fishing with earlier today, and it was just awesome.
Yep. So we'll go back to the Chick-fil-A. Everyone gets it. And me being a loyal Chick-fil-A patron and eater for a couple decades now, in the beginning, there was only one sandwich, just as you guys know. I mean, literally their menu was like 5 things, and it really was like apple pie or cherry pie, whatever. I guess it's apple pie, right? And then the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich, which is still their number one seller of all time and still continues to sell more than anything out there. And they had fries, and then they had their lemonade and or water Sprite. That was it. So this Slam Shady 2.0, this is the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich. This is the top seller. This is the one. This is your staple. This is what it's simple. It just continues to keep working. And this is the club. This is the Chick-fil-A club, right? A little bit more. You got a little bacon on there, a little bit, few more calories. This is a little bit bigger. And then this guy is your grilled chicken sandwich, right? It's a little bit lighter. It's you're going to use it in situations where you're trying to maybe lose a couple pounds. This is your lighter version. It's like those 3 things, that's all you need. Obviously, Chick-fil-A knew that people like variation. So, they added in some things like spicy chicken. Maybe this is the Flamingo Joe's spicy chicken or some funky things that they've tried on their menu. But by and large, we talk about it all the time, is becoming a specialist in these 3. So regardless of what you do, I do think you should mix and match, but at least get one of each, if not more, of the Slam Shady Bomber, the Alabama Leprechaun, and the Slam Shady 2.0. Like these are the staples. If you go out fishing with Luke or myself or Tony or Wyatt or any of the guys on the team, they're all throwing this for the most part. This is what they start with. And a lot of times I will have these funky colors. I like having them personally. And Luke, you're the same way. I'll notice you'll bring them out only if we're in a good area and we're just having a tough time connecting with these lures, or if we're just kind of bored and want to try something new. But for the most part, this is what we're fishing with. And Luke, as Luke said, I mean, this is, and you watch his videos, it's not for debate. I mean, he puts out videos every single week and he's using one of these 3 lures almost 100% of the time. And he had his best year ever of a fish catching. Yes, we'll bring out the top water during certain times. And yes, we'll have the power prawn at certain times. That's also become one of our top sellers. Just, we can't put that in here. One, it's crazy expensive and we're having a tough time meeting the demand for the power prawn. Since it's not made here in the USA, we are working on another option for that, made in USA version. But number 2 is it can't be around this stuff. It's made of different material. And of course, it could warp a little bit if it starts touching this other stuff, and it really needs to be in a different container. So at least for right now, because I know that's another question we've got is, hey, how come I can't get the power prawn? That's the reason for now. It might be available, but I doubt it. I think we're going to keep this 11 lures for 1 penny as is with these. And you probably won't see us add a ton of new colors this year. And the real reason is you don't need them. I mean, I know there's people like the Flats Class TV. We love C. Richardson, and he loves talking about these different colors, but we fish with that guy as well. He uses the same couple colors just like we do. He's 1 or 2 colors. That's all he really uses on a consistent basis. He is a specialist. He's an amazing angler, but he knows that fishermen love to keep buying colors. He keeps coming up with these crazy, goofy colors, and people keep buying them. So we do have a couple because we know there are some colors, as that one gentleman said in that one book. His name's Bill something, but he's like, you only need 3 colors. You need white, and you need pink, and you need black, or some variation of them. And obviously we had to throw in the Alabama Leprechaun because that green and gold always seems to work. But that's really all you need, is just keep it super, super simple. And play around. There are going to be certain areas that do really well with the gold digger, or do really well with, one of the pink, either the Fred or the Flamingo Joe. I laugh every time I hear that. But just do yourself a favor and definitely get at least one of the Alabama Leprechaun, one of the Slam Shady Bomber, and the Slam Shady 2.0. I got all these things all in my hand. And then, as we mentioned, there's a completely free rigging tutorial. And you talk about which type of jig head, weights, all that stuff in there, and even a little cheat sheet on knowing what to use in certain situations and certain times of the year.
Yeah, we cover the rigging, and that includes choosing the right jig head or weighted hook or weedless jigs based on where you're fishing, including the type of structure you're fishing. Do you need it weedless? Do you not need it weedless? Very important, and a lot of this gets overlooked by a ton of people, and this is what prevents a lot of people from catching as many fish as they want, is the depth control. And so we have a cheat sheet for each of these lures, for every one of these, no matter which one it is. Plus, we actually have stuff for power prawns too, but it'll give you the exact weight that you need of a jig head or a weighted hook to cover a certain depth range. Crucial, very, very important. So we have all that for you. Obviously, the retrieve is incredibly important as well. So we have videos on how to retrieve, the jerk shad versus the paddle tails, when to do which type of retrieve, and then even size selection, right? We have some diverse sizes here, right? The small 3.5 just looks tiny compared to this big old bomber. And so you need to know when one is going to be better than the other. And so there's some seasonality involved here. There's some watercolor differences involved for the selection of the colors. So we really just dive through all that stuff. We can't do it now. It'll take forever, but we have videos on each topic, and you can really just dial in and be ready for whatever you come across on the water. That's why these soft plastics are so great. You can have just a handful of soft plastics and then a handful of jigs or weighted hooks, and you can literally be ready for any situation you come across, whether you're sight fishing a redfish and 6 inches of water, or if you're going after snook and flounder or big trout on some docks that are 6 to 7 feet of depth. And so those same lures and those just having the rigging associated with the depth, that's crucial. And again, this has literally been what I've just relied on for all of my trips, whether I'm here and around Tampa Bay or fishing all over the Gulf, even down to the Keys. The same lures have been working surprisingly well as long as they're rigged properly and they're retrieved properly. And so we go through all that to make sure you just maximize your odds. And we're incentivized to do that because we know you're going to be buying more of these lures. So this course, we call it a mini course that is for these lures. It really will make sure that you are just optimally using all this and just maximizing results out there.
Yep. And then ultimately, join us in the Insider Club. I know, there's a lot of current Insider members who listen to this, and this is open for you too. Obviously, we want to reward you. We're never going to, give the public something that you can't get. So Insider members can go get this. You will see, just like Chick-fil-A, they have, some other options to add on. We will give you a couple things to add on. It's some really amazing prices. So you'll see it when you check out at the end. It'll say, hey, here's one, I think there's 2 different little offers for like 50% off of the normal price on our shop. So you're going to see a couple of absolute steals that you should say yes to. We won't be doing those for very long because we will be out. And this is first come, first serve. I'm hoping it lasts the month of January, but then again, it could be gone in the first couple of days, just because I know how many people are already signing up for this, because we did send out a little email, I guess couple days ago. And it was absolutely crazy because it is irresistible, right? I mean, I get excited about it. Like, I want to go do it. Mix and match 11 lures. It's just fun. It's kind of like that old Columbia House, CDs and cassette tapes. If you older people know what I'm talking about, that was fun, right? I mean, it was, man, you get to mix and match these things. So we hope you do join us in the club if you haven't already, because the final piece. Luke talked about the rigging and the depth control. All that's pretty critical when you're fishing lures, but it's kind of irrelevant if you're not in the feeding zone, right? And so our number one goal with our Insider Club is to help you find the fish, right? So if someone could take you by the hand and give you like a proven formula every single weekend to find the fish, to find the redfish, and to find the speckled trout, and to find the snook and the flounder and mangrove snapper in your area, would you say yes to it? And for most of us, it's yes. And that's why we have now, I believe we just hit 27,000 members in our Insider Club who have said yes, because they want help finding the fish. So that's finding the fish is number one. And then the tackle. So 20 to 30% off. Like I know it's 30% off or even more on these like moonwalkers that are coming in. And the final part is the community. That the whole network effect has been really, really big. Just made some really big changes to the community. Nick and his team of developers there did just an amazing job. And it is so cool. It's all broken out by region, so you can see who's catching what, where the bait is, what fish are being caught in what areas and in your region. It is really, really, really really powerful. There's nothing else like it out there on the internet. It is completely different than, Facebook and some other things that are out there. So if you current members who haven't seen the changes, log in today. You're going to be blown away with it's a progressive app. So it's completely mobile friendly. Anywhere you could save it to your phone, just like normal app. And that's community.saltstrong.com, community.saltstrong.com. In the meantime, go to 11lures.com while you still can and mix and match any of these 9 different variations right now. At least while we're recording this, there's still 9 left. If we run out of one, it might be 8 or 7, but mix and match these 9 to add up to 11. So 11 total for $1, and then just cover the normal shipping charge, the first class shipping charge, whatever it is. Like I said, we don't make any money. We actually lose money on that. And then boom, we get them out to you. That's it. That simple.
Simple as that. Yeah, you're going to love them. And as soon as you do get it, we'll send you an email, and that'll be an email to the mini course where you can see, again, all the rigging, all that you can get the retrieve cheat sheet, the rigging cheat sheet to make sure that you have the right weight for the whatever depths you're fishing. And you'll be able to see all the videos. And if you have any questions too, we're here to help. This is literally our job, is to help you catch more fish. So if you have any questions at any time, at the bottom of that mini course, there's a comment section. You can ask whatever question you have. If you had if something wasn't covered, or if you had a situation where you just were curious if one color would be better than another, ask it. And we're there to, we'll get notified when it comes in, and we'll respond to you usually within 24 hours.
Yep. So that's it, guys. 11lures.com. And then come join us in the club if you haven't already. We appreciate you big time. And we will talk to you on the next episode. Peace. We out.
See ya.
'Cause fishing, it's in my soul.